Good Thursday morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. I just always have to remind you, please hit the share button if you could. I'd appreciate it very much. This is how we update you in weather here on MLive in the morning. I used to be 9, but lately I've been a slacker, and I'm 9:22 now. So I got to get back to the 8:30 to 9 o'clock time slot. Here we go. Here's winter starting Saturday. So here's the current radar, and we have dried out. We will stay that way today and Thursday. Just want to start off with the visible satellite picture to show you that you can get some sunshine in places today. Not full sunshine, but in places we have full sunshine, banks of clouds, northern Michigan, western Michigan, even in the southeast, lower Michigan, and off to the west, some breaks in the clouds. So you'll get some what I would call partly sunny skies today. Hey, thank you very much, Mark Ashworth, for sharing. Yes, if you could, I would appreciate it very much. All right, so here we go. Got a big crowd going here. Let me keep it going. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. What you're going to see here is you're going to see the European model. It's a good model. We like it out into the future. It's going to show you the warm up today into Friday, and then a strong cold front Saturday with a burst of wind behind it. And then really, although I'm talking colder temperatures, I'm not talking a whole lot of snow through the next 10 days, and I'll show that to you too. So let me shut up and get to it. Okay, so here's today, and there's no travel problems today. The winds will be dying down and then switching to the southwest. And then as we get into tomorrow, notice dry conditions, but when you see all these little black squiggly lines, those are the pressure lines. As they get packed closer together, the winds pick up. My rule of thumb, 5-mile-an-hour gust for every isobar in lower Michigan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By Friday morning, that means 25-mile-an-hour gusts. That means Friday, although it's warmer, quote unquote, warmer on the thermometer, the winds will pick up quite a bit to gusting to 30, 35 miles an hour. Now, here's Friday night, and here comes Saturday morning. This is let's see, time change. This is 3 in the morning on Saturday. Hey, good morning, Tracy Lee Dryden. Good morning, Yale, Michigan, Renee Smith. Good morning, Carla Vitale from Macomb Township. Linda Bromberg, I'm going to be writing about white Christmas chances later on. So this is the cold front. Middle of the night, it brings in rain and then a period of snow in the north and northwest, and everywhere gets some snow showers by the time we get into Saturday morning. But also then notice, remember my rule of thumb, a 5-mile-an-hour gust for every isobar. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 45, 50-mile-an-hour gusts. Saturday, and then the winds calm Saturday night, and Sunday we go back to a southwest wind that starts to increase. One thing we are getting into, folks, is, oh, I'm sorry, I lost you. Just a second here. Not sure what that was all about. Should be back, and we are. Okay. I don't know when we went black, so let's go back to this here. So here's our cold front coming through middle of Friday night. Saturday morning, you wake up to a whole different weather pattern once again. And windy and cold on Saturday. Sunday dries out, and the wind picks back up. And like I said, we are getting into the windy part of the year. All right, now for those of you just joining us, if you could please hit the share button. I appreciate it very much. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. We're going to go into the extended term here. Give me just a second to line my map up here. Okay, so now we're going to look into the long term, out to the next 10 days as we start to think about traveling. Snowbirds head south, white Christmas, buttoning up projects outside before winter hits. You might have waited a little too long there. So here is the European model. You can pick out Florida. You can pick out Illinois. Indiana sticks out closely there. And then you can pick out Michigan. So here we go. We warm up on Friday, quote unquote warm up, and then strong cold front Friday night, Saturday morning. It's already onto these. Saturday morning, when you wake up, you think, hey, I got a few hours to get something done before it's windy and cold. Wrong. Next caller, please. So, hey, thank you very much for sharing. I do appreciate that very much. Helps me out tremendously. Um, so, Sunday's a quiet day. And you'll notice then we don't get back into the red isotherms. The cold air just kind of flirts with us, and now we're at Tuesday and it comes back down. This system right here would probably be a light snow mostly across the area Monday night, Tuesday, and then the cold oozes back down. Now we're into next Wednesday and Thursday, and the cold continues to ooze back down. And as we get out to about December 10th, that storm system expected to stay to our south as the cold air stays kind of entrenched. And that's not to say that we won't get a warm up as we get into December, a warm up, but it might be 35 to 45 degrees or something like that. Okay, so let's keep going. Hey, thanks for sharing. I'd appreciate it if you hit the share button and say this is what we have coming. All right, so I told you about the wind gust. This is the peak wind gust forecast here. And as we go into Saturday morning, the peak winds, I would expect them to gust to 45 to 50 miles an hour, maybe in some of the open spots, getting to be about 55, 53 miles an hour, something like that. And that would be Saturday morning. And then Saturday would be windy all day with gusts of 35 to 45. How much snow? Not much. We're going to use the same model and go out 10 days. And as we go into Saturday, it's probably a 1 to 4 inch snow, northwest lower, maybe a 1 inch snow in the southwestern part of the state. Elizabeth Platte, Muskegon, Michigan today, probably about 35-ish or so. We'll get there in a second. Okay, so the Saturday is just a quick burst of some snow. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, not much, another inch or two up across the UP. And now we finished 10 days out. This is December 10th. And we're talking only an inch or less in the southern 2/3 of the state and a few inches in the northern third. So that's not a lot of snow for the first 10 days or so of December. All right, finally, temperatures. You can see why I say, and here's winter. So today, highs in the low 30s, 30 to 35. Friday, back to warmer weather. Okay. If you could hit the share button. We're almost done though, but I do appreciate the share button. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. By the way, if you're just joining us, this is how I present the weather to you every morning on MLive and during times of winter storms and severe weather. Also the same. So like the MLive Facebook page, if you're watching, you've obviously are on Facebook. So like the page, allow notifications, and poke around on the MLive Facebook page for a couple of days, a couple of stories, and then you'll get notifications from Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook that says you're interested in the MLive weather update, and you'll know when I'm on live. So 30s today, 50 on Friday. Saturday is deceiving. That's a morning temperature. And then falling temperatures, settles into highs in the 30s on Sunday, which isn't too terribly colder than normal. And Monday, 30s in the south, 20s in the north. Tuesday, upper 30s. Wednesday, low to mid 30s. Thursday, upper 30s to near 40. Friday of next week, highs in the 20s. And 10 days out, highs in the 20s. So my theory that a moderate winter temperature pattern is going to be taking hold. Do we get a warm up? We probably do, because remember, we've got this La Nina winter, and the long range forecasting experts at NOAA, National Weather Service, have identified that this kind of winter has a more than normal wild fluctuation in temperature. It doesn't take a meteorologist to tell you that winter weather in Michigan fluctuates a lot. We know that. But what they're saying is more than normal fluctuation, where you could wind up with a 2 or 3 week period that it turns quite warmer than normal. And then you could go into a 2 or 3 week period where it turns quite colder than normal. And I know people say, well, it's always cold in Michigan in the winter. Tell me something I don't know. We're talking about deviation from normal. So late January, for example, we'd normally have a high in the upper 20s, let's say, in a lot of places. We would be talking on abnormal cold highs in the teens or single digits, something like that. Whew, it was exhausting. So there you have it. Today, a pretty good day to get something done outside if you can handle the cold. Tomorrow, the wind picks back up, but it's a warmer wind, about 50, although it won't feel like that. And then Saturday is a windy, colder day, gusts to 50 miles an hour, bursts of snow, a nasty kind of day. So if you have to travel this weekend, Sunday, much safer than Saturday, especially if you're going to northern Michigan. Thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.